Hello, everyone, and welcome. And very exciting for you today, who I've got in front of me on Zoom, no other than Oscar. He is a CEO of the Billion House Consulting based in Cape Town. Oscar is a proud Papa Bear of 3 beautiful daughters, happily married, and has a very successful business in coaching, consulting, management consulting, and training. And he speaks to people all over the world on a regular basis and has written 3 books. And what we're talking about today is women empowerment. So on that note, I should share with you that he is a HeforShe champion, a perfect example of men supporting women in the empowerment space. Welcome, Oscar.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Do appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us today, and we'll get straight into it. Woman empowerment,
Great.
From a man's perspective, woman empowerment has changed over the last 70 years. What have you observed? Oh, big time.
70 years. Okay.
Well, that's on the average when it started becoming noticeable. What have you observed in the changes in your lifetime that have affected woman empowerment with regards to men and women?
Thank you so much. That's an excellent question you have asked there. My take when it comes to women empowerment is that I always have this belief that we're all the same. So let's forget about women empowerment. Let's just talk about empowering all. We all the same. But you see, we've found ourselves in a society that kind of separates both sex. In my house, I have a nephew who stays with me also. He's a male. And most times my wife would say, but you are a man. I have stopped that language. I've stopped that word. They are all human. They are all kids. They are all growing up. So we give them equal opportunity. And I strongly believe that if they're encouraged in that way to grow, we won't be getting to that point where we now start saying, let's empower. Let's treat the women equally. My mom has really been an inspiration. I've seen how she's worked together to keep all 7 kids. We were 9, but she lost 2. But I've seen the way she balanced the home and the family, the male ones and the female ones. We do the dishes. Everyone cooks. Everyone does what needs to be done. So in that house, there is not, this is for the people, the male, or we all, then we go to fam. We do the same thing equally. So I think my understanding of that women empowerment, it doesn't matter how long they've been dragging this about. I think we just need to get to this point. From now, let's get back to the family basis and then start looking at it from home. Treat everyone equally. That's all we need to move forward.
Thank you, Oscar. And you've answered my next question was, who is your role model? who is your role model, has been your role model?
Yeah, my mom has really been that super role model that I look up to. She inspires me a lot. And yes, I have other powerful women I admire, like the late Nelson Mandela's wife. I love her energy and vigor, but I know in spite of this, I see that I've been surrounded by powerful women. Mom is the number one, but even when I started my work, I knew my first boss was a woman. I knew my last tuition fee to graduate from the varsity was paid by a boss who probably just like me, I'm picking interest in my career. I want to see me succeed. Women have really played an active role in my life to who I've become today. So I would say my mother, the late Nelson Mandela's wife, has really been another strong figure that I do point my kids to. You see that woman? She was a powerful woman. You have to aspire to do exactly, maybe more than what she's done, but she's a role model that I admire.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And thinking about going forward, as we see women empowerment has changed, and it starts with exactly what you say, is first acknowledging that we are human first. What would you advise both men and women, if you had to give a word of advice regarding women empowerment for the future? What is the one thing you would say to a man and one thing you would say to a woman for their future to be empowered?
I think for me, I would say that both people, both sex needs to be given that equal opportunity to grow as we were created by God. So unfortunately, we find ourselves in the sex we find ourselves. That's not a bad thing. So that's not to put down another sex for another. We don't need to amplify one. So my message would be, give each one or everyone that equal opportunity. Most of our men, young men, I mean, or young boys still at their early age, need to be taught, like I do at my home. You don't beat that female child. You don't even try to fight her. So you have to grow up as friends. You have to grow up as supportive partner. That's, I feel, that is the message for the future, because you can't change old dogs or teach old dogs the new tricks. So let's forget about the men that are already made up their mind in terms of who a woman is by their definition. We need to start raising a new future, because that's where we're looking forward to. The future that my kids we future in. We need to start empowering both the young boys and the young girls that you are all the same. Train them equally. Give them the same opportunity to grow. That's the most important thing. And let's stop this idea of women are meant to do certain things or certain jobs and men are meant to do certain things. No, everybody are meant to do what they have power or ability to do. Let's take it further in that kind of conversation. And in my own personal capacity as a HeforShe champion, I condemn every forms of violence against women, gender-based. Such are not real men, because real men don't do this. That would be my message for all the men, all the women out there. Let's build a future that we'll be proud of.
Thank you, Coach Oscar. So to everyone who may have missed that, Coach Oscar is a coach. So if you're getting stuck, you know who to connect. He's dynamic. He's for he, for she, for girls and for boys. No limits. Thank you so much for your time, Oscar. And for those of you watching us, you want to check the description below. Oscar's got a few things planned for Women's Month, and he's running awesome workshops and webinars and masterminds. Please connect with him. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.